My name is Madison Berthelsen. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. We're excited to introduce you to Connections to Empower, a company driven by purpose and passion. We are a team of advocates, educators, and professionals committed to creating a world where autistic adults can thrive with the support they deserve. Our mission is to create a dedicated environment for autistic young adults by offering essential skills that will help them to take control of their futures. What sets us apart is our person-centered approach. We don't believe in a one-size-fits-all model. Every individual we thrive to serve has unique strengths, challenges, and goals, and we're here to support them every step of the way. Today, we're here to share our vision, our plan, and how, with your support, we can turn this mission into a lasting impact for autistic adults in our community. Thank you for considering being a part of this journey with us. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Stephanie, Tara, Kyla, Shirley, or myself. Before we dive into the details, we want to give you a quick overview of what you can expect from our presentation today. We'll start by outlining the problem statement, highlighting the critical needs and challenges faced by autistic adults in our community, especially when it comes to daily living skills, employment opportunities, and social connection. Next, we'll share our mission, vision, and core values, which guide every aspect of our work and reflect our commitment to person-centered, strength-based support. From there, we'll walk you through our logic model, which lays out how our services will create real, measurable impact and the steps we plan to take to get there. We'll also provide a transparent look at our budget so you can see exactly how we plan to allocate resources and grow sustainably. And finally, we'll close by sharing our hopes for the future, including how your support can help us build a more inclusive, empowering world for autistic adults. We're truly excited to share this with you, and we're so grateful you're here. Today, I'll be sharing some important insights about the challenges autistic young adults face after high school. Many of these individuals lose their structured support system they relied on, making it harder to navigate employment, relationships, and independent living. In both Kansas and Missouri, the need for adult autism services continues to grow, yet specialized programs remain limited. While are some disability resources available, they often don't fully meet the unique needs of autistic adults in this presentation. I'll walk you through the scope of the issues, who is most affected, the services that currently exist, and the significant gaps that need to be addressed to better support autistic adults in our communities. Imagine you're an autistic young adult who just graduated high school. Throughout school, you had access to specialized support, structured social programs, individualized education plans, and transition services. But once you graduate, those supports disappear. There's no longer a clear path, and you're suddenly expected to navigate adult life, finding a job, managing finances, building relationships on your own. This is the reality for many autistic individuals in Missouri and Kansas. For many autistic young adults in Missouri and Kansas, leaving high school also means losing access to structured support systems that help with daily life, employment, and social connections. Without these services, the shift into adulthood can be overwhelming and difficult to navigate. While some disability organizations exist, their programs are often designed for a broader audience and may not fully meet the specific needs of autistic adults. As a result, many individuals in this community face barriers to employment, struggle with social isolation, and remain dependent on family members for support. The lack of targeted programs in this region means that many autistic adults are left without the tools they need to succeed in the workforce and in daily life. Addressing this gap is crucial to helping them build independence, find meaningful opportunities, and fully participate in their communities. The population most affected by this issue includes autistic young adults in Missouri and Kansas who are transitioning to independence. According to recent data, Missouri has nearly 100,000 autistic adults, and Kansas almost has 47,000. These individuals face unique challenges as they move into adulthood, particularly in areas like employment, financial management, and social relationships. Many struggle with finding resources that specifically address their needs, as existing disabilities services often focus on physical disabilities rather than social and independent living skills. Without targeted support, autistic individuals in this region face higher risk of social isolation, long-term unemployment, and dependency on family members well into adulthood. The geographic focus of this issue is Missouri and Kansas, particularly the Kansas City metro area and Overland Park. Data shows that Missouri has nearly 100,000 autistic adults, while Kansas has close to 47,000. Despite these growing numbers, the availability of specialized autism services in this region remains severely limited. Overland Park, one of Kansas's largest cities, has a strong commitment to community development, yet there are very few programs tailored to helping autistic young adults gain independence. While organizations like The Whole Person provide disability services, they do not specifically address the unique challenges that autistic individuals face when transitioning into adulthood. This lack of targeted support leaves many autistic adults struggling with unemployment, social isolation, and dependence on their families. By focusing on Overland Park and the greater Kansas City area, we have the opportunity to fill a critical gap and provide life-changing resources for autistic individuals seeking independence. When we think about autism support, we often focus on children. But what happens when those children become adults? The reality is that the need for support doesn't disappear, it actually grows. In Missouri, there are nearly 97,377 autistic adults, and in Kansas, around 46,863. That's about 2.1% of the adult population in both states, and these numbers are only increasing. In Missouri alone, autism diagnoses have risen 60% since 2000, meaning more individuals will be aging into adulthood needing services. Despite this, there are very few programs in places like Overland Park that focus on teaching life skills, employment readiness, and social development for autistic adults. This gap leaves many struggling with essential tasks like managing finances, building relationships, and finding jobs. And the impact of this unmet need is significant. Nationally, only 21% of autistic adults are employed full-time, not because they lack ability, but because they lack access to job readiness training and workplace support. Many also experience extreme social isolation because they don't have the structured opportunities to build relationships. So while the number of autistic adults continues to grow, the resources to support them are not keeping pace. That's why addressing this gap is so critical. While there are some disability services available in our region, they don't fully meet the needs of autistic adults. One example is The Whole Person, an organization that provides disability support in Kansas City. However, its services are primarily geared towards individuals with physical disabilities rather than those needing guidance in social skills, job readiness, and independent living. Additionally, while there are autism-related programs in Missouri and Kansas, most of them focus on children. This leaves autistic adults with very few options as they transition into adulthood. Those who do not seek support often face long wait lists or services that aren't designed for their unique challenges. In many cases, individuals either remain dependent on their families or even relocate to other states where better services are available. This service gaps highlights why we need more targeted programs that focus specifically on autistic adults and their journey to independence. As we've seen, there are some disability services in Missouri and Kansas, but they don't specifically address the needs of autistic adults. One of the biggest gaps is the loss of structured support after high school. Many autistic individuals transition from a system that provided specialized education and social training to a world where those resources disappear almost overnight. Another major issue is the lack of adult-focused programs. Most autism-related services in our region are designed for children, leaving adults without the skills and support they need to thrive. This is especially concerning because there are very few programs that teach life skills such as cooking, budgeting, and relationship building. Without these skills, independent living becomes much harder. Employment is another critical challenge. Only 21% of autistic adults in the US are employed full-time, not because they lack ability, but because they don't have access to job readiness training and support. Similarly, social isolation is a huge issue, as many autistic adults struggle to find structured opportunities to build friendships and meaningful relationships. These gaps highlight why it's so important to create specialized services that address life skills, employment, and social development, so autistic adults don't have to navigate these challenges alone. And here is Kyla to discuss Connections to Empower's mission, vision, and values.
Thanks, Madison. My name is Kyla, and I will talk about mission, vision, and values. Our mission is to create a dedicated environment for autistic young adults by offering important skills that will help them take control of their future, providing a safe, supportive space where autistic adults can connect, learn, and grow. Our vision is a future where every autistic young adult will have the opportunity to thrive in important skills by pursuing meaningful careers, building the relationships that they desire, and becoming active participants in society. Through group therapy and fun activities, we aim to cultivate confidence in relationship building while providing a supportive community where everyone can truly be themselves. Listed here are our agency's values. We thrive to be a place that provides a non-judgmental space with many opportunities for autistic adults in our community. Our agency is dedicated to empowering individuals to be themselves while also learning meaningful skills that will help them in their futures. This is our agency's force field analysis. This helps us identify the forces that help drive change or resist change within our agency.
Thank you, Kyla. Hello, my name is Tara Holcomb. Today I will outline our logic model. I will also discuss the key assumptions derived from empirical research on young adults with autism spectrum disorder. Next, I will detail the resources required to execute this initiative effectively. I will then describe the activities we envision taking place at our organization. I will also address the direct outputs and outcomes we anticipate as a result of these activities. And finally, I will present our overall goals for Connections to Empower and how achieving these goals will positively impact our community. Connections to Empower is focused on providing a safe and supportive space for our clients to connect, learn, and grow. Based on empirical data, we know that young adults with autism face challenges transitioning from a structured school environment to life after high school. Evidence indicates that individuals with ASD often experience high rates of unemployment and social isolation. Connections to Empower offers our clients the opportunity to build social connections, develop new relationship skills, and learn independent living skills so they may eventually live on their own. At Connections to Empower, we recognize the need for specific resources to create a strong foundation. These resources include a safe and accessible building site, trained staff to support adults with autism, our clients, a board of directors, and the funds necessary to run our organization. With this trained staff, we anticipate having numerous activities running continuously throughout the year. To evaluate the effectiveness of our classes, we will conduct assessments to gauge if we are doing all we can do to create a successful environment for our clients. We will also use evidence-based curricula like the peers relationship classes and the safe dating classes. These programs are proven to help adults with ASD build healthy relationships and also how to choose and date safely. When a client walks in, they will then determine their needs in our program and what interests them. Some may wish to focus on building friendships, while others may want to participate in group therapy, seek job support, or develop independent living skills. We understand that community engagement builds confidence and reduces depression among individuals with autism. So, facilitating opportunities for our participants to help others in the community is a priority. These activities aim to foster a community where the quality of life improves, depression and anxiety diminish, and our clients build strong, lasting friendships and relationships. They will have the opportunity to develop independent living skills, learn to drive, and ultimately transition into independent housing where they feel confident and supported in a home of their own. Now for our overall goals. In the light blue boxes on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see the overall goals for our first year of Connections to Empower. The first overall goal is to increase the quality of life for our clients by 50% within the first year, primarily by providing a safe place to meet friends, learn new skills, and participate in group therapy. The second overall goal is to enhance the independent living skills by 50% of our clients within the first year. This will be achieved through classes that include budgeting, cooking, and overall home management. Additionally, clients may learn how to drive, which can increase their independence. They will also benefit from our career services and resume building classes. These supports aim to create a pathway for them to live independently after the first year. The third overall goal for Connections to Empower is to increase community engagement among our clients by 50% within the first year. This will be achieved by encouraging our clients to get involved in the community. We will host a community event or outing once a month, which may include volunteering, attending a community action event, or another activity. We will also send out a monthly email newsletter highlighting our clients' success stories and positive attributes, so potential employers or donors are aware of the growing opportunities these amazing individuals can bring to our community. Now, I will hand it off to Shirley to discuss the proposed budget for Connections to Empower.
Thank you, Tara. Tara talked with you about the resources, activities, and outputs. And now I'm going to discuss our line item budget that will help make these things possible. My name is Shirley Wagner, and I plan to talk about our projected budget for the year. I have broken down the line item budget in the next couple of slides to show the actual projected numbers. Moving forward, I'm going to discuss how we came up with these numbers. With revenues, our program will have participant fees, but we also will need some outside support as well to help cover what we will need in this first year. Starting with participant fees, we looked at the space of the office we chose to rent. It will allow us to have up to 35 people at one time. Taking this information in, we are anticipating having 2 groups per week for both Safer Dating and the pair therapy sessions. Safer Dating groups will have 20 people per group, and the pair group will have 15 people per group. We plan to have about 35 people per day for all other general activities. When determining the cost of our services, we considered what other programs offering similar services are charging and came up with realistic and competitive service fees. Listed in the spreadsheet are the different types of grants and donations that will help with funding as well. Moving on to expenses, I will begin by talking about staffing needs. We will have an executive director, a fundraiser/grants manager, an assistant/receptionist, a program manager, and 4 full-time program staff members. We looked into recommended staffing for a small startup nonprofit organization and took in consideration the services we will provide throughout the year and the number of clients we plan to serve. This will allow for all functions of our organization to run smoothly and meet the needs of our clients. Our monthly contractual obligations will consist of rented space, utilities, and phone expenses. When looking for the space to rent, we considered rental price, location, and the space. The location is close to the public transportation service. For this area, the rent is low for the amount of space offered, making this location the most favorable option. We anticipate starting out with landline phones. We set aside money for office supplies and emergency expenses. We plan to use donated office furniture. Other expenses included are the price of the computers for staff members and the smart board that will help us carry out our curriculum. We have considered the yearly cost of ink and postage. We have taken into consideration needed supplies for expressing gratitude to our community partners who have helped make this possible.
As we shared our vision with you today, we want to ground it in the real stories that inspired and continue to drive our work. Many of us in this group have personal connections with loved ones on the autism spectrum. 2 of us have sons with autism, and 1 person in the group is married to someone with autism. So when I say Connections to Empower is near and dear to our hearts, we truly mean it. Here are a couple of personal stories that motivated us to create this organization. First, there's Brian, an 18-year-old high school senior who is preparing to take his next big step toward adulthood. Brian is learning how to navigate new routines, and while he's determined to become more independent, he often feels like he's too old to keep asking his parents for help. But the truth is, support during this transition is exactly what he needs. Brian represents so many young adults who are ready to grow but just need a little guidance along the way. Then there's Chase, a bright and energetic 7-year-old whose parents are already looking toward his future and the support he will need. This year, Chase made 2 real friends, a huge milestone that's brought so much joy to him and his family. While our primary focus is on autistic adults, we see how looking at the needs and supports at an early age can help us develop goals for Connections to Empower. As Chase grows, we want to be a consistent presence, helping him transition into teen and adult programs when the time is right. And finally, we want to introduce you to Zion, a 21-year-old young man, and the reason this company even exists. Zion's journey, his strengths, and the challenges he's faced inspired us to take action. His voice, experiences, and vision for a better support system for autistic adults became the foundation for Connections to Empower. Without Zion, none of this would be possible. These stories are just the beginning. They remind us every day why this work matters and why your support can make a real lasting difference.